Here's a tutorial on how you can make GFXs in around 10 to 15 minutes. I do want to mention that I did learn how to do this from someone else, and I will link their channel and their video in the description. The first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the Load Character Pro plugin and the Animation Editor plugin. I will link both of these in the description. You're also wanting to make sure that you have the Lightroom file and the Blender file downloaded. Make sure that you download Blender before you download Lightroom. I don't know why, it didn't work for me when I did it the other way, so this is just the way I recommend. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on Load Character Pro, and we're going to type in the username of the character that we'd like to use. In this case, I'm going to use my friend, so make sure this box has an X in it. If it doesn't, make sure that there is one, and then go select the option of R15. If you don't click the option of R15, your GFX probably won't work. As you can see, he spawned into the base plate, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the base plate real quick. Now that he's here, what we're going to do is we're going to select Animation Editor. This part is completely optional, but if you want to do it, just follow this part. You're going to select the torso and click Select. This is now going to give you the option to move him around in whatever way you prefer. In this case, I'm just going to move the head around so it's facing the camera a little bit more. Now that you're happy with what you've done, feel free to take a while on this, make it as different as you'd like. It can be a little bit tricky. The next part that you want to do is you want to make sure that the name up here is selected, and you're going to go all the way over to Model, and you're going to anchor it. A lot of people forget to anchor it, and if you don't anchor it, it's most likely that it's just going to fall apart. So make sure that it goes grey after you click it. After you click that, go to Plugins and then unselect Animation Editor. It's going to give you a little message saying that you'll lose unsaved progress, but just ignore it and click OK. Now that you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to go back over to the name and right click, and you're going to export selection. Make sure that you're saving it in a place that you'll be able to find it, as you're going to have to open it up in Blender soon. I'm going to put it in my downloads, and I'm just going to call it YouTube GFX, just so I know where it is. Now we're going to go ahead and open Blender. What you're wanting to do is it's okay if there is not this box here, it's not necessary. What you're going to go and do is you're going to click File, you're going to go down to Import, and you're going to click on Wavefront OBJ. You're then going to find the GFX that you just did. There should be two options, an MTL option and an OBJ option. Make sure that you click the OBJ option as the other one won't work. It should spawn in right in the middle here. There we go. And now what we're going to do is you might think it's grey, why does it look like that? It's not supposed to look like that. I will change it into colour in just a second, but if you see this little box here, guys, make sure that your camera is in the position that you'd like your GFX to be. So if you want to change your camera view, go up to View at the top corner here, go all the way down to Navigation, and go to Walk Navigation. This lets you use your WASD keys to just position the camera in the way you'd like your GFX to be. In this case, I'm going to put it here. Now that you're happy, just click on the screen and it will take you out of that option. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go up here to the top right corner and click on this circle here. This is going to give the color. Don't worry about the two pink squares at each side of me. That is completely fine. I colored those myself. Just give it time to load in. The color should take a couple seconds. Once you're happy and your GFX is fully loaded, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this name right here. So the name that you've chosen for your file, in this case mine is YouTube GFX, you're going to select that and click on the red circle down here if it's not already selected. After you do that, you're just going to get to choose how your character's going to look. So scroll down to where it says roughness. I'm going to put my roughness down to 0. This is just a personal preference. You don't have to do this. But I'm going to turn my metallic up to about 1.97. You don't have to do this, as metallic looks different on every single GFX, so just because it looks one way on mine does not mean it's going to look the same on yours. So have a little play around with it. Once you're happy, go up to Render and click Render Image. This is going to give you an idea of what your GFX is going to look like when we're going to put the background behind it. It's going to take a little while to render, maybe a couple minutes, as it has to render out of the number 128, and the numbers will load up as it takes time. You'll see this one when I click it. As you see, it says sample, and it says 2 out of 128. Just wait until that loads to 128. Right now you might think it looks very pixelated, but once it's fully rendered, it should look a lot better than it already does right now. I'm going to come back when it's fully rendered. Now that my image is fully rendered, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click on Image and I'm going to click Save As. I'm then going to save it in the same file as I saved my other one, and I'm going to call this YouTube GFX Finished, just so I know that this is the finished version. I'm then going to save as image. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go onto Photo PEA and you're going to open from computer and import the photo that you just saved. So in this case, mine's going to be my YouTube GFX that is finished. Now what you're going to do is you're going to click on background, but you're going to right click and click blending options. It's going to give you this little table here, and this is just going to give you an opportunity to make your character stand out a little bit more. A lot of people like to do stroke, and it just does a black outline of your character, but for this case, for this GFX, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do an inner glow. You might not see much as first, but I'm going to color this and I'm going to make it kind of white, I think, or like a really like faint light blue. You might not see it at first, but I'm going to just make the size a little bit bigger. There we go. And I'm going to also do an outer glow. Just makes it look like your character's glowing. And then I'm going to click OK. Once you're happy with it, what you're going to do now is you're going to go over to File, you're going to save it, and once you've saved it, go to Export and export it as a PNG. Now just zoom out a little bit so that your character is in full screen, and I'm just going to save it like this. It's going to save here, and it should be the most recent one in your download file. And now I'm going to go ahead and open Canva. Now that I've opened Canva, make sure that when you create a design, you select the option Instagram post. This is going to give you the square background. The next thing you want to do is you want to upload files by clicking on Uploads and upload the photo that you just saved. You're then going to click it and it's going to go into the background. I'm just going to size this so that it's the same size as the screen. It doesn't have to be in the middle, but in this case I'm going to make it in the middle. For this, just search up any background that you'd like, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the image, go back, and I'm going to paste it. It's going to be over your character currently, but what we're going to do is we're going to go into position. I'm going to go into position, and I'm going to drag it underneath the character. This is going to put it in the background. And then I'm just going to make it so that it fits the whole entire screen. If your background looks a little pixelated, it's okay, just go ahead and pick another one. I've gone ahead and changed the background, but it still looks really pixelated, but when you do it, you have more time to make sure that it's not pixelated. If not, you can choose a different background. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go into Elements, and I'm just going to add some little decorations to it. Once you're happy with your GFX, I'm just going to leave mine pretty basic, but what you're going to do is you're going to go over to File, and you're going to click Download. It's then going to download into your recent downloads in your files, which will be easy to find considering it's where it's gone the past couple times when you've downloaded your GFXs to create it. I'll just show you what I mean. So I'm going to click Download. Then you're just going to click on this download button, but before you do that, make sure that you save it as a PNG, even if you do have a moving animation. Then I'm going to click Download. It's down to the bottom of your screen here, and then what you're going to do is once it's completely finished, you're going to open your file, you're going to go to Downloads, and it should be the first one there, Untitled Design is what the name should be. Now you can go ahead and upload that anywhere and do anything you want with it, and that is how you make a GFX.